Let me introduce the Traka Touch range of products to you. Traka Touch was designed and to cater for those customers that perhaps didn't have a PC provision in place where the cabinet was going to be located, or couldn't put an IT provision in place for the system itself. It truly is an out-of-the-box solution that allows us to facilitate and offer key management to those customers. The system itself, and the main difference with the system itself that you'll notice, is the 7-inch touchscreen display on the front. The system has an embedded Windows PC with SQL Server, and it can store up to 250,000 event transactions until we need to back up or archive that data. What that means to you and I is that if we had 50 individuals, each taking and returning one key every day, it would be 10 years before we need to archive off that data. So it's pretty significant in terms of how much information we are able to store. The system itself follows the traditional range of our products in terms of sizing. So you'll notice this here is the M Series Touch. It will hold between 10 and 20 bunches of keys. The S Series system cabinet will hold between 10 and 60 bunches of keys, and our L Series system will hold between 10 and 180 bunches of keys. The systems follow the modular theme of the legacy product in that you will insert multiple rows of 10 dependent on your customer's requirements. Now, in terms of how we gain access to the system, again, we follow a very similar traditional approach. Whether a customer wants to utilise unique PIN codes for each of their users, whether we want to use some form of access card or token, or whether we utilise biometrics. The most important thing from Traka Touch's perspective is by knowing who's gaining access to the system, can identify what they're able then to take. And that information is all programmed from the front screen. Now, in this case here, I'm going to identify myself with my proximity token. So simply by presenting my token to the system identifies me, and it asks me now to select an option. The reason it's asking me to select an option is because I'm actually a key user. I can run reports, and I also have the administrative functions to add keys, edit keys, add users, and edit their profiles. But by simply, in this case, coming along and presenting myself and requesting keys, the system door pops open. And the system display now shows me which keys I'm authorised to take or not authorised to take, based on the fact that we have a green icon for keys I am authorised to take and a red icon for keys that I'm not authorised to take. You'll notice the two grey icons are keys that are currently out of the system against somebody else's profile. Now, in this case, by simply touching the icon for the key bunch that I want, so in this case, touching number 8, the system actually tells me that I'm not authorised to take that particular position, and the key remains locked in place. But I can take number 9, and that allows me to pull the key from the system. The display now tells me that Paul Mazaher holds number 9. I can then close the door and walk away. The systems utilise the exact same iFob as our legacy product. So the iFob is nickel-plated brass tube. It's very, very strong and robust. It's got a chip inside it, which has a guaranteed unique serial number, which means A, it can never be copied, but more importantly, Traka Touch learns that serial number and associates that serial number to the position and that serial number to the keys that we attach to the iFob itself. The iFob is attached to the keys using a tamper-proof seal, to which we have a number of options. Now, my system here has a clear polycarbonate door, which allows me to visually audit the cabinet and see which keys are present and which have been taken. The polycarbonate is very, very strong and robust. It's made from the same material they make police riot shields from. Alternatively, we can offer a metal door for added security, really dependent on what the customer requires. But in this case here, I can see through the door and notice that number 9 is missing. Simply by inquiring on the keypad and running a quick audit by pushing the search function and telling the system that I want to know who currently has position number 9 and pressing enter, the system will show me, in this case, that number 9 is out of the system, the description, which is for the vehicle that is attached to that key bunch, the current user is Paul Mazaher, and the time that he actually took the key bunch from the system itself. Every single transaction which takes place from when the system was first installed is maintained in Traka Touch until we choose to run a report or archive off that data. So when I'm finished with the key, I obviously need to return it. And by coming along with my proximity token and identifying myself to the system and selecting the Keys tab, the door pops open and the system display tells me that I've got an amber icon against number 9, which means I have it, and also you'll see that Paul Mazaher holds position number 9. Now, by simply returning that key, the system will go beep. But in this case, I make a mistake and I actually return it to the incorrect location. The system display shows me that position number 11 has an incorrect key inserted, and that actually should be in position number 9 where the green tick is. The system also provides a message at the top of the screen telling you which key to return where. At the actual cabinet itself, from a user perspective, it's very easy to see my mistake because it draws a line in lights from where the key is in position 11 to number 9 where it needs to go. by simply taking the key from here, inserting it back to the correct location. The system accepts the key, recognises it's back, takes it away from Paul Mazzaher's profile. More importantly, the organisation that employs Traka knows that the key is returned. Now, as with any Traka product, reporting is obviously very important. Now, on the touchscreen display here, we have the ability to identify those users that have performed transactions at the system, and my profile and my token allows me to run those reports because I've been preset as a report user within the system, within my profile. By presenting my token, and in this case, selecting the Reports tab on the front, I'm able now to select the date range that I want to see transactional information. So if I actually click in this instance, the last 7 days, it automatically defines the last 7 days of information that as we want to see the report. By selecting Run, the system will now show that information on the front screen. So that there is our last 7 days worth of information. We can either choose to view it in that format and be happy, or alternatively, you'll notice there's an export button here, and by pushing the export button, it pops the door open, prompts us with some on-screen instructions, and allows us to insert a USB stick into the USB socket on the front of the cabinet. By inserting our USB stick and following those instructions, we can save and export that report to the USB stick, which allows us then to view it on a PC, which we can make it part of an existing or another report that we want to run, or simply just store the information and archive it off for historical purposes. So I hope that shows how truly simple and straightforward the Traka Touch product actually is. The touchscreen allows you to input your user information, your key information, tie up who can take what, and more importantly, report back on it, either on the screen or via USB. The beauty of Traka Touch: there's no IT infrastructure, there's no PC, which makes it really simple and straightforward for your customer to employ. It's simple, it's straightforward, and it truly is out of the box.